jazz arpits. In my last jazz piano video of this series, I introduced the one-hand voicings in B position for the 2-5-1 progression in major keys. This time I will combine them with another melody line first. Then I'll play the voicings with the right hand and add a further walking bass line. Here's the melody line. It mirrors the individual voicings with their voice movements from one chord to another, just in form of broken chords or arpeggios. This time I changed the direction of the arpeggios for variation. D minor 7 now broken downwards from the 5th A to the minor 3rd F, the root D. Melodically I preferred to the 9th in the voicing, and the 7th C. Together with the voicing. And here at the end of the 2-chord D minor 7, the main guideline into the 5-chord G7 happens again. The 7th of D minor 7 C resolves into the 3rd of G7 B. Then G7 broken upwards from the 3rd B to the 5th D. Again melodically better than the 13th E from the voicing. The 7th F and the 9th A. With the voicing. Now the line enters the realm of C major 7 with the 5th G, arpeggiating downwards to the 3rd E, the 9th D, and the major 7th B, enclosing the root C that follows, and coming down to the 5th G again. The other main guideline, the 7th of the 5-chord going into the 3rd of the 1-chord, is still operating here, but it's not quite as obvious for the eye. It is here between the second last note of the line on the 5-chord and the second note on the 1-chord. But the ear perceives it anyway. I'll demonstrate the presence of these main voice movements by accenting and holding the essential notes. The reduction of this is with the bass, which is in fact the exact same cadence I introduced in the related video with the A position line, just inverted. Now I'm going to play melody and voicings with an accompaniment of bass and drums through the circle of fifths in ascending direction. The other way of using the one-hand voicings is combining them with a left-hand bass line. Here's another walking bass line. I'll keep the main principles I introduced in the related video. And I will again switch directions on every chord change. But now I'll vary the ways in which I approach the next chord root. If there's only one beat left from root to root, I approach the next root stepwise, not from the same direction, but this time from the opposite direction that I come from. From the root of D minor 7 upwards, I've been using the minor third to approach the root of G7. This time I'll choose the fifth A to approach it from the opposite direction. From here downwards to the root of C major 7, I've been using the fifth D. This time it's the third B. As I will go through the ascending circle of fifths, the next key would be G major. From the 2 chord A minor 7, I would go down to the 5 chord D7 via the minor third C. And from D7 to the 1 chord G major, I'd use the fifth A. And so on. For the whole bar of the 1 major 7 chord, I'll use some variations of the previous lines also. From C major 7 to A minor 7 upwards, I go root, up to the fifth G, up to the root C, down to the major 7th B, down to the next chord root A. From G major 7 to the next chord E minor 7 downwards, I go root G, down to the fifth D, back up to the root G, down to the major 7th F sharp, down to the next root E. Now I'll play it again through the descending circle with some adjustments of the bass line on the 1 chord. It is now root, then upwards or downwards to the third, then 3 times half step up from C major 7 upwards to G minor 7. In the next key, from F major 7 downwards to C minor 7. Of course, the melody and bass lines I presented together with the A position voicings in a former video would work with these B position voicings as well. In the same way, the melody and bass lines presented in this video could be applied to the A position voicings just as well. In the next video of the series, I will combine A and B position voicings to avoid the leaps that occur if you're using one of these positions exclusively. That's it for now. I would appreciate your likes, comments and subscriptions to my channel. Bye, see you next time.